Hey YouTube, I'm always Post 1975. I really didn't want to do another video on this. I think I pretty much covered it in my last video that, you know, I hate Big Brother, I hate state snooping. This constant sort of interference in our lives, it properly gets on my tits. But the response the government or the Home Office or Theresa May had in particular to sort of the backlash created over the initial sort of, you know, the announcement that they are going to change the legislation, making it far easier to snoop on people's emails and stuff like that, etc. It quite frankly, it insulted my intelligence. And I have to say something about this, because the approach they took was just like, seriously, you think we're that fucking stupid? It's embarrassing. Now, basically, there's a lot of opposition to this, and this is good. This is good. A lot of opposition in their own party, on their own backbenches, and from the Lib Dems, obviously, because it's a coalition government, and that's good, because I hope they cause as much friction as possible. You know, as much sand in their underwear as possible is a good thing. Now, yeah, there's a newspaper. For anyone outside the United Kingdom, there's a newspaper in this country called The Sun. I wouldn't go. It's a tabloid, but I wouldn't go as far is to completely label it as a tabloid, because The Sun does have moments of brilliance and does do good things and has had genuine effects on certain parts of the law and things like that, you know, and it has its moments, but it is generally considered the sort of the everyday man's paper. So if you're a politician, you want to be on side with The Sun. The Sun used to support Labour, now they support the Tories. So, here you go. Sorry, school lesson there for you. After this initial backlash against this change in legislation, Theresa May did, Home Secretary, did an open letter to the Sun newspaper, I guess, is what you could call it, and she said basically, I understand people's fears, but they need to understand they have nothing to worry about, which we'll forget that because you're a politician, so you're lying through your teeth, and as I mentioned in my previous video, how many times do you say this and then the laws get abused anyway? And even if you're not abusing them, local government's abusing them, you never seem to stop it. She goes, yeah, I want to reassure everyone that this is not going to create a massive database of, you know, people's emails and internet use and stuff like that. This is only going to be used for serious, you know, offenders or whatever, and tracking terrorists. Now, because of the initial backlash, what she's done, it's really pissed me off and played us all for simpletons, is she thought, right, well, people aren't going for that. So what do you do when people don't go for what you want to introduce? You know? You thicken the plot, don't you? You spice up the ingredients. It goes like, well, everyone hates terrorists. Who is someone else that people hate? Paedophiles. Everyone hates paedophiles, and rightly so. But what annoyed me about using this was the fact that they never mentioned this when they initially announced this legislation change. They just said this is to stop terrorists. So now, apparently, it's to stop terrorists and paedophiles. So it's kind of like, oh, well, I didn't like it before, but now there's another boogeyman in here. There's another bad element. So this is good. This is good. I'm with you. It's like you can't see what, you know. You don't think we know what you're doing. Basically, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. So if we don't go for it this time, if you don't get the public consensus on board with this, are you just going to keep dropping in boogeymen? Are you just going to keep dropping in bad guys? Is this how this is going to play out? Shit, they didn't go for it. Right. Who else can we chuck in there? I say we go with Megatron, Cobra Commander, Mumra, the cigarette smoking man, and who else? Who else is bad? Oh, Boss Hogg from the Dukes of Hazzard. He wasn't a nice bloke, was he? Okay, that's me kind of, you know, making jovial about it. But basically what I'm saying here is, well, we didn't go for it, so you add extra elements. You're basically playing on people's fears, you know. You're trying to push legislation through by getting the public on side, by scaremongering. Because that's all this is, it's scaremongering. There's no logical argument in the shit you're saying. Basically, you're trying to fudge a law through that's basically going to fuck us all over. So, thank you, Theresa May. Thank you, Conservative / and or Lib Dem government. No doubt you will get your way eventually, but yeah. We know what you're doing. We're not fucking stupid. We know what you're doing. These are our freedoms, our rights, and our civil liberties. And if you touch them, fuck you. I'll see you later.